Welcome back to Let's Cruise, discover the wonderful world of cruising with Enjoy the View Travel. Let's start part 5. Okay, in part 5 we are going to discuss all things entertaining. There truly really is never a reason for you to be bored on a cruise. And today we're going to explore all of the things that make a cruise so much fun and exciting for not only adults, but for kids and teens. Okay, let's talk about your onboard entertainment. How do I know what's going on, where it's happening, what time it's happening, and what it's all about? Well, all the cruise lines now use a cruise app. In that app, you will find your daily calendar, daily schedule. Everybody calls it something different. You'll also receive a printed one. My understanding is they are all still doing the printed one. Just got off of a Celebrity Summit last week. And so with Celebrity, theirs is called Celebrity Today. And so let me tell you quickly what you're going to find on that printed agenda. It'll have all of their daily activities, including the times and the locations. It will typically also offer you some information about your upcoming ports. It'll offer you more information about their main entertainment for the day. What else is in here? There are selected activities listed, some information about some of the food options, spa area, destination experiences, about their shops, some tips and important information about your cruise and things to expect, any deals that may be going on that day in the shops. There was also a spot for future cruise vacations, purchasing photos, things like that. And there's also a casino area on this one telling you when tournaments and games and things were coming up. And then there's a whole page, it's called Design for You, and it's the list of all the activities and events for the day. That's what's going to be on the front. It's broken down into morning, afternoon, and evening. So for example, it listed in the morning when the captain was going to make his morning announcements. And you can just hear that over the PA system, or you can also listen and or watch. I didn't do this. So on their TV channel. It also had like some clearance sale that one of the shops was having. The last art auction that they were having was listed. Lots of things that are listed. That was all things that were happening in the morning. In the afternoon, they were having a pool volleyball tournament between officers and guests. So that was listed on there. And when you needed to sign up, if you wanted to participate in that, kids camp things were listed on here. So there's a lot of stuff that's listed on here. And then in the evening, it listed the farewell with the officers that they were going to have. This was the last day, so that's why that was there. When Silent Disco was going to happen, what the last stage production was going to be. So all that information. And then on the back of that are the different opening hours for things. So all the different areas around the ship, what their times were. They had a dine and drink part to that as well. So where could you get breakfast? What times could you get breakfast, lunch and dinner, coffee and snacks, and then also the bar hours. So lots of information on that. So make sure that you are reading those so you don't miss any of the fun stuff. Some of the activities that they have include bingo, trivia. On our ship, they had Deal or No Deal. Now, they ended up having some technical difficulties with it, and we ended up not getting to play, but my understanding is it's a really fun game, and so the next time I go on Celebrity, I will try and play again, but they had some kind of major technical difficulty. They also will have different kind of meet and greets, so you can look for those on there. So for example, if you are a solo cruiser, they had a solo get together, so all the solo cruisers could meet up. What else? Let's see. There will be DJs playing in different various areas around the ship. They will have karaoke, silent disco, one of my favorites. I actually didn't even get to go to either of the silent discos on this one, but the next time I plan to do that. They do have like movie Under the Stars, and they do play movies during the day as well. And then there's so much more. So silent disco, I wanted to tell you a little bit more about that. And so there's typically going to be 2 to 3 channels that you can do with silent disco. And you know what channel you're on because on the headphones, there's a lighted area around both sides on the headphones, and it'll show your color. And I think on Celebrity, it was red, blue, and green, where you're 3 different channels. And then the DJ is playing different themed stuff on each one, depending on what you wanted to listen to. And so it's so funny to go and even watch silent disco because you've got people who are listening to one channel singing and dancing to their song, and then people who are on different other channels singing and dancing to their songs. And so it makes for a great people watching opportunity if you are a people watcher. Most cruise lines will also have some kind of small arcade. They are typically geared towards the kids, and some cruise lines, it is a kids-only area. So you'll have to check with that if that's something that you are interested in. And the arcades are additional in price, so you want to make sure that you know that information. First day that you're on the cruise is a good time to go around and watch and listen to that. So let's look at a couple more things, okay? All right, let's talk all things casino. Every cruise ship is going to have a casino. They will have slot machines. They will have table games. Some of the table games that we just saw last week on Celebrity was roulette, blackjack, 3-card poker, Texas Hold'em. Those are some of the ones that I remember offhand that I saw. And you can obviously play it all or play what is your favorite. Some of the cruise lines will even offer classes on how to play those table games. So if you're not familiar with how to play those games, check that daily agenda and see if they are offering some classes. We did see there was not enough interest to play at the roulette table, so he started showing people how to play so that they could get more people to play, because they have to have, I think, so many people in order to play. So pay attention for those kind of things, and you can learn how to play those tables if you're not into that and don't already know how to play. Let's talk about casino perks, okay? So some of your cruise lines will offer a casino perk, and they do have rewards programs where you are earning points. So for example, last week on Celebrity, we have a Sea Pass, and so what you had to do when you sat down at the slot machine, there was this little bar, and it should have been blue when you sat down. So you tap your Sea Pass to it, and it turns green, and so now it's recording your points. And so you earn points while you're playing, and also based off of what you're winning. And so you get special invitations to events, tournaments, VIP seating to shows, priority dining reservations, and then sometimes you can even earn complimentary cruises. So on our cruise, my mom earned $250 off of her next cruise. So that, and I mean, I don't really feel like we played a whole lot in the casino. The last day we were there, I did notice a paper that was showing like how many points you needed to receive certain offers. And you needed, I believe it was like 1,200 points to get the free cruise. So, and I I will tell you from what I've heard, because I've never, received one of those, but from my understanding, when you get that, you still have to pay like your taxes and port fees and gratuities and things like that. And if you want to get a drink package, obviously you'd have to pay for that. But the room portion of it is free. Now it's an interior room. And my understanding also is if you would like to upgrade to a, for example, balcony room, then you would just pay the difference between the interior and the balcony. So you would still get a great portion of that for free. Casino perks are really amazing if you are into playing the games and stuff in the casino. All right, so let's talk the opportunities for sports and fitness. If that is your thing, then you are set on a cruise. You don't have to change anything. Each cruise line is going to have a fitness center. They will usually offer classes. They will also usually have a wide variety of fitness equipment. There'll also be a walking, running track, usually on one of the upper decks. And it's usually like a painted path. On the Celebrity a couple of weeks ago, it was a muted brick red shape. There's also a sports deck up on the upper courts as well. On the cruise we were just on, they were doing basketball and pickleball. In fact, pickleball was quite popular. Sometimes they will offer classes for things like that. They will do tournaments. So just check your daily news and app for the activities for the day, and they will have any of those listed. They'll also have open times where you can play basketball, or open times that you can play pickleball, or any other activities that they're doing on that. Now, they also had, if you're into things like cornhole or beanbag toss, they did some of that up on the pool deck during certain times of the day, and they would list when they were going to do that. They had some open play for it, and then they also had a tournament with the officers for that. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to check that out. I'm mentioning the pool deck. Please do not forget the pools. Most of the cruise lines will have the main pool deck outside. It will be broken up into either one really large pool. Sometimes they'll break it up into two pools. There'll be some hot tubs around as well. And then typically there is a solarium, and it's going to usually be covered, be an inside area. And the solarium on the Celebrity Summit was extremely nice. They had lots of different seating areas. They had lounge chairs around, but then they also had some sectional type outdoor seating that you could use as well. We utilized that for a while we were there. And then the water in the solarium is typically heated. It felt amazing. We did not go into the big main pool, so I can't speak on that, but the water in the solarium was great. And then they had these metal bench type seating for you. They had two of them, one on each side of the pool, and it was pretty cool. You got up on that, and it was kind of like a whirlpool, so almost like their thermal spa, I guess, that I've seen on some other ships, and it was right there in the solarium. And let me tell you, that felt good too. So if you have the opportunity to try something like that, I highly suggest it. Also, a lot of the cruise lines over the past several years, they've been adding in things like water slides. If you're on Royal Caribbean, they have I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's where you do like the surfing, and it's on the back of the ship. And then so they have all kinds of options. Your newer ships that are coming out even have pools that are geared towards the younger kids. So there's so much to do that goes along with your sports and your fitness. So be sure that you check that out. So this next one is very important for a lot of people. Kids and teen areas. A lot of you want to travel as a family, and I totally get that. That's how I started cruising with my family back when I was in middle school. So I completely understand that. Each cruise line, with the exception of Virgin Voyages, because they are an adult-only cruise line, will have dedicated kids and teen areas. They will have the kids area will be broken down into younger kids and then typically some type of a tween zone. And sometimes they even have it broken down a little bit more than that. And then they'll also have teen areas for them. Lounges that typically don't open till later in the day and the night. And they'll have arcades. Usually those will all be in the same vicinity. So you'd be able to go and drop off your younger kids at their spot, and then the teens can go to their spot. On the Celebrity, when I went and was recording on the ship, I found the younger kids area. However, I was recording on a sea day, and so I didn't really get to go in and explore these areas because there were already people dropping kids off and kids in there. And so for privacy issues, I didn't want to go in and record those areas. But next time, I think I'll try and do some things, like some special areas like that a little sooner than I did on this past one. But the younger kids areas will have different games and activities. Of course, it's going to vary per ship, like everything. And so you'll need to find out what their hours are, when you can drop off, what time you have to pick up. My understanding is that they sometimes will give out some kind of a beeper. With all of the app access now, I'm assuming that things are going to be done through the app now. So if they need to get a hold of you, they can get a hold of you, and so forth. So lots of different things for the kids and teens to be able to do. I recall when I was, 13 and we went on our cruise that we pretty much just got to run the ship and do what we wanted, as long as we weren't causing problems and everything. And back then the biggest thing I wanted to do was to go up and down on the elevator. So lots of things for the kids and the teens to do. So that's something to check into if you are going on a cruise, to see what they have and what's available. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is the spa. So don't forget about the spa. If you are a spa person, then it's going to be amazing for you. Each cruise line will have a spa, and there will be lots of different options for that. Depending on the size of the ship and the age of the ship will depend upon what spa amenities they have available. So usually on embarkation day, they will do tours of the spa where you can come in and the spa employees will show you around, show you what options they have, and you get to see all of the spa. And then sometimes they are going to offer you specials. So if you have the time, and let's be honest, really all you have on cruise is time. But if you want to take the time to do it, I highly recommend going to do a spa tour and seeing what kind of options they have, and maybe they have some specials that you can do. They'll also have a spa cafe. Most cruise lines are offering that this day and age, and they offer healthier food options, beverage options, smoothies, and things like that. We did walk because our room was very close to the spa cafe. So every time we would come back to the room, we kind of walked through to see what kind of options they had. And I don't think we ever got anything from the spa cafe. But let's be honest, a lot of times we had just left the buffet when we walked back. And so we weren't hungry or anything. And so next time I want to be more vigilant about going and actually trying the things at the Spa Cafe. And it's just, it's set up just like buffet style, but usually things are already portioned out and on plates, so you can just take plates or bowls or whatever. So you have that option for the Spa Cafe. Also, you can get some of the options that you'll see available at the spas are massages, facials, manis and pedis, and then lots of other things. They do couples massages and things, and they have such a wide variety of massages. They in the spa, they will also have a hair care area, so you can get your hair cut or styled if you want to, for formal evening, if you want to get your hair done, or for those who are thinking about doing a wedding on board, or even vow renewals, things like that, and want to have your hair done, you can do that as well. Highly suggest, I was just reading on Facebook about this the other day, so I highly suggest that you bring a picture and show them what you want. The lady was saying that she went and she kind of told them what she wanted, but she didn't end up getting that, and then she had to have them redo it. So always take a picture of what you would like if you want to get your hair done. I know that I even do that with my own hairdresser, so keep that in mind. The spa is an upcharge, so please remember that. And pricing, of course, is going to vary per cruise line. Something else to remember is that the spa's main goal and purpose is to sell things to you. So if you go in for a particular service, they are going to try to upsell you on different items, and you can simply tell them no. And just get the actual service that you had already paid for or requested. But if if you're interested in those items that they're upselling, then you have that option. So something to think about for the spa. So the last thing that I want to talk about with the entertainment for the ships is the theater. Every cruise line has a main theater. And that is where all of your big evening shows take place. Sometimes they are theatrical, sometimes they have comedians, they have usually a variety of options. You want to check your daily activities guide. They'll have a list of all the theater shows. Sometimes, so I figured out in our last cruise we went on, it didn't necessarily always show on the app, but it did always show in the printed. And at least with Celebrity, they are still putting the printed in your room so that you have that every night. So be sure to check that. It'll usually give you a rundown of what the show is going to be for the next night, the details for it, to see if it's something that you want to do. We had singing, dancing, some aerial things. So it was really good variety there. We had a comedian. They had a Whitney Houston tribute show. So we had some good variety on our cruise on Celebrity Summit. So we have another cruise coming up in June, and we'll see what kind of theater options they offer. So sometimes they have some other specialty shows. So for example, Royal has a skating rink on their ships. And so they will have skating shows that you can go to as well, that you can watch. They also, Royal also offers dive shows in the aft of the ship. They have a dive area where they will do shows. So that's an awesome option too, that's not available on every ship. So look and see what options you have available. The main theater is not your only source of entertainment. Throughout the ship, they will have different musical acts at different lounges. bar areas, things like that. And so you have all kinds of options. So make sure that you are checking that activities guide, that daily activity guide, so that you know what's going on, what time, where it's going to be, to see what you want to do. Thanks for hanging out with us during this part of Let's Cruise. Here is all of our contact information if you need to get in contact with us. Also, please remember to like and subscribe. And don't forget you can share to all of your friends and family. And until next time, enjoy the view.